Yeah, I gotta be honest, Big Tone. I had to fall back from your boy, man, the locker room, man.
So,
Man, what I
babe,
tell
I'm
you, I've
so in
been telling you,
love.
man, you ain't
Babe,
want to
I
listen.
miss you, miss you.
Nah, it's not.
Babe, I miss your
It's not
That
that
touch.
boy
I
is a
didn't.
true. That boy is a
Yo,
two-way player, bro. He's the
a
only nigga.
two-way player.
He's a two-way player, bro. He's the only nigga that keep LeBron picture up no matter what he
Two-way
talk
player.
about.
So, babe, I'm so
Yo,
in
Big
love.
Tone, this
Babe, I
dude was
miss
talking.
you.
Like my thing
Babe, I
is,
miss your
anytime you
touch.
beat him in a debate, he always got a condescending narrative,
Of course.
like, oh,
I
you
wanna
guys
get
don't
back
know
every game, cause
basketball
it
and all of this
means
shit. So
so
I'm like, all right,
much
well,
to
debate me then.
me.
He like, oh, nobody debates. We just fans. Our debates don't matter. And I'm like, so why the fuck you got a show called The Smoke Show? Like,
Just
it's
to
just
hear
too
about
much of
me.
moving the
And you know
goalposts
I
for
broke
me.
your heart a
And it's like,
million
I
times.
just did basketball talk. I ain't talk about none of the extra corny shit he was doing,
It's
but just
like a
basketball talk.
victory.
When it came down to
Till the day I
basketball
finally
content, I was
make you
whooping his
mine.
ass.
Bruh.
And he got disrespectful. He got
I
disrespectful
made
to
a
somebody on my panel, so I
decision
stopped
that
fuck with
if
him.
I
You know how I
spend a
know
little
it was
more
bad?
time.
He came all the way. He came to my Facebook. Like I never seen nobody go from like
Bruh.
look sorting somebody out on
Showing you
Facebook
instead of
from YouTube.
telling you
Like,
and
bruh,
loving you.
I
Can't
went to his
pretend
page. He
not
kept calling. He kept putting
to.
my picture. I said, "Yo, you keep putting my picture up." Because he like to make my sound bite part of his show. I never seen nothing like
Do
this,
you
where somebody
think
that's a
about
different
me?
blogger on a different stream takes your
Do
sound
you
bite and DJs
think
your
about
shit.
me?
Like he's like a fucking DJ.
Do you think about
I will tell
me?
you why the beef started with me and Reggie, right? Reggie fucked one of my niggas' bitches, right? The locker room went to
Do
fuck
you
one of
think
my
about
niggas' bitches,
me?
right?
Ever
That's what
think
he fucking
about
did. He
me?
fucking disrespected the bitch.
Do you think about me? Do you think about me?
Oh man, we are back, folks. We are back, folks. We are back, folks. We are most definitely back, man. And we got to get into it today. We got to get into it today, man. The mayonnaise media, folks, they're scrambling. They are scrambling, folks. They're scrambling, folks. They don't, they're not liking this, folks. I told you guys, man, you know, when Luka Doncic and Aston, when they faked those injuries, folks, versus OKC, I told y'all the only thing that I was upset about, folks, was that we weren't going to get to see them get exposed. And I was looking forward to that, right? But I told you guys, we are a better team without them. I told you guys going into the series, I like our chances versus Houston. I told y'all initially Lakers in 7, and then a few of these Houston Rocket fanboys, they play with me, so I bumped it up to Lakers in 6. Then we find out Kevin Durant's not going to play. Folks, I bumped it up to Lakers in 4, okay? I bumped it up to Lakers in 4. So, you know, we're still waiting to see what Kevin Durant is going to do. You know, if he's going to play in game 2, we're still waiting to see, folks. You know, it's a little bit odd to me. The dude played in, I think, 78 games this season, and yeah, he misses game 1 of the playoffs. That's a little bit strange to me, but, you know, it is what it is, folks, right? I'm going to take the 1-0 series lead. I'm going to take that every single time, folks. It's our first series lead since 2023, all right? As soon as Aston doesn't play, we finally get a series lead. Let me say that again. As soon as Aston doesn't play, we finally get a series lead. So, yeah, that's what we're here to get into today, folks. I want to play you guys some audio from the mayonnaise media. Like I said, they're scrambling. They're crashing out. We did a show last night. I don't know if you guys caught it. We did a show last night, you know, talking about the Luka fanboys, because they were crashing out on me last night on Twitter, folks. Obviously, you know, Puka, he was not a finalist for the MVP award. All right. He did not make the cut. So, yeah, the Puka fans last night, folks, they were out in droves. And, yeah, they were crashing out on me because, you know, I told them he's got to get better, right? He's got to get better. You know, you can't cry for an MVP award. I mean, you can, but we're just not going to respect you, right? Ask Joel Embiid. So, yeah. I tuned into the Mayonnaise Media earlier today, folks. Trevor Lane and the crew over there, you know, if you guys are unaware, Jovan Booty of the Mayonnaise Media, this dude blocked me, okay? He blocked me. I don't know when he blocked me because, you know, me and him I've never spoken with this man. Me and him have never had a conversation or anything. So I don't know when he blocked me or why, but, you know, I could only assume it's because we've been doing, you know, shows on Mr. Booty. So yeah, I was blocked by Mr. Booty. This is not the first time that I've been blocked this year, folks. Aston's agent, he also blocked me. So it's very obvious to me, folks. All of the people within Aston's camp, they don't like me, okay? They do not like me, and I'm perfectly fine with that, okay? Fuck them, all right? I'm not here to be your friend, okay? So yeah, we got blocked by Aston's agent, and we got blocked by Mr. Booty of the Mayonnaise Media. So it's been an eventful week here at the locker room, folks. You know, we're just doing the Lord's work over here, man. You know, I'm here to kick up dust. I'm here to ruffle feathers. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to, you know, do any of that freaky shit, right?
You're a freaky frog.
I'm not here to do any of that freaky shit. Don't want to hang out with you guys. Don't want to be you guys' friends. I'm here to push back on the propaganda that you people push for this dude, Aston and Puka. And like I said, folks, Trevor Lane, he just crashed out about an hour or two ago on his podcast. Okay, so this is going to get pretty fascinating, folks. Y'all do me a favor and drop a like on the video. Shout out to CPA Joe. We got Teddy East. Shout out to All Things Basketball. We got Johnny Road. What's going on, man? Shout out to Roland. We got Arioka. You said it, Luka's officially out. Pay up, Don C. Well, like I said, I don't know where Don C is right now. So it is what it is. We got Styling. You said Katie will be there. Yeah, we'll see. We got Johnny Road. You said AR lost his entire bag. Okay, shout out to Akeem. You said Kennard is better than AR. Okay, shout out to Tax the Prophet. LA Wide Awake. What's going on, man? Shout out to James Mathis. What's going on, man? Banco, I see you. Shout out to X and O. You said happy 420 day. Yeah, I didn't even know it was 420 day, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really smoke like that anymore. So I wasn't even paying attention. Shout out to Styling, Vince. I hate y'all, Pacey. What's going on? So folks, let's just go ahead and get straight into it, man. Shout out to Iviola or whatever your name is. Okay, what's going on, man? Shout out to Judah Rising, Bruce JG. We got Mike 298. Shout out to Mike 298 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, man.
LeBron fan.
Got me on a late night mission, pulling up.
You said during the game the camera was on Luka and AR and they were never smiling. I think they're hate watching. Yeah, of course. You know, they only want to see us lose in their absence. You know, if we're winning while they're not playing, you know, that's just not really a good look. And it's kind of reminiscent of, you know, a few years ago when Luka missed the first couple of games in the playoffs and Jalen Brunson stepped up and he took over. Right? Jalen Brunson stepped up and he took over in the playoffs. And folks, he went and signed with the New York Knicks and basically became, you know, their first option in New York. And he pretty much did that off the back of those playoff games that Luka Doncic wasn't available. People started to see, oh, wait, this dude has untapped potential. And, yeah, New York threw him a bag and the rest was history. So I think a guy like, you know, Luke Kennard, folks, like I said, if he keeps this up, listen, there's no telling what the future holds for Luke Kennard. There's no telling. Okay, shout out to Dakin Cass with the $2 super chat.
I'm a rolling stone.
Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
You said, who's that calling Aston a foul baiter with Gilly? That would be Dylan Brooks.
I'm a rolling stone.
Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
Yeah, that would be Dylan Brooks, dude. Yeah, he doesn't respect Aston at all. So, folks, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the topic of today's show, right? So, as you guys know, folks, LeBron James, he put on a masterclass. He put on a masterclass performance on Saturday, right? Now, those of us that have been watching the Lakers for a while now, it was really a breath of fresh air, right? Now, why was it a breath of fresh air, folks? Well, because Luka Doncic wasn't playing. And because he wasn't playing, folks, we were able to witness a brand of basketball that we haven't seen in a very long time, pretty much since Luka got here, right? Ever since Luka got here, we put the ball in his hand, and, the dude basically just stat pads every single game, right? And what I mean by stat padding, folks, is he has no regard for anybody else on the roster. He's got no regard. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care to see you, be successful. He doesn't care to see you make shots. He doesn't care about the team's overall success. All he cares about is getting his own numbers. So on Saturday, when we saw LeBron, right, facilitating, playing the game the right way, and ultimately leading the Lakers to victory, folks, those of us that have a brain, we couldn't help but to say, yo, this is just much better than watching Luka Doncic, right? DeAndre Ayton thoroughly outplayed Sengun. Nobody talked about it. Seriously. This was the same DA that Laker fans said is not the center for the future and that they need to get rid of him. DeAndre Ayton thoroughly outplayed Sengun. And I told y'all that before the series started. I told y'all he would do that. I said he would play Sengun to a draw. And on the game Saturday, folks, he outplayed Sengun. He did. He outplayed him. Rui Hachimura, he stepped up. He was big force. LeBron James, Luke Kennard had 27 points, right? So, like I said, those of us that are a fan of LeBron James and his greatness, we couldn't help but to notice, right, how much better the Lakers roster looked overall. Now, these were the same guys, folks, and I'm talking about the mayonnaise media. These were the same guys that were saying, well, I don't know how the Lakers are going to score. Yeah, where's their offense? This is what Mr. Booty was saying. This is why Mr. Booty blocked me, right? This is what Booty was saying before the game. Oh, well, I don't know where the Lakers offense is going to come from. I guess we just got to wait and see. Yeah, without Luka and Reeves, that's 48 points the Lakers are going to be missing. And how did the offense look on Saturday, folks? How did the offense look, Mr. Booty? So, fast forward to about 2 hours ago. The mayonnaise media, folks, they go live. They go live, right? So, I'm tuned into the mayonnaise media, right? I want to hear what they have to say. Because I already know, right, they're not happy about this. So, I'm watching this like with a smile on my face, right? So, I noticed, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat of the mayonnaise media, people in their chat room are talking about how much better the Lakers offense looked without Luka Doncic. Ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, Trevor Lane, he completely crashed out on his chat. Take a listen to this, folks.
A long-term problem. I think this very well flips the series in the Lakers' favor compared to what we would have thought coming in. Now, I do want to address one thing. I'm seeing a little bit of the conversation in the chat right now that, well, the ball is simply moving more for the Lakers now. See, this is the way that the Lakers need to play. And Luka was not allowing the ball to move the way he needed to. Keep in mind that you may find, and indeed, if you dig into the numbers, the Lakers passed the ball more since they lost Luka compared to before. Some of that is you have less guys who are capable of breaking down their man one-on-one, and so they're naturally going to move the ball more. But I think there's two things that sometimes get confused, and that's the aesthetics of something, and that's seeing the ball move. There is a certain joy to that. I like seeing everybody get involved. I've talked about it on our shows before. I've talked about it during the live play-by-plays that I do. But there's a difference between that and efficient offense. And what Luka does, while some people may not find it as aesthetically pleasing, others may, there is no denying that it is very effective and very efficient offensively. And that ultimately is the goal, putting the ball in the basket. The Lakers are a better offensive team with Luka Doncic than without. So it's not like watching this game and saying, oh, I like seeing the ball move the way it does. You can't make that leap that, oh, see, they're better without Luka because the ball's moving more. And we know there's agendas and things out there, but sometimes people get confused by what they see versus what the numbers will actually tell you. And the ultimate goal, whether you enjoy the way that it happens or not, the ultimate goal is to put the ball in the basket as efficiently as possible. And with that being the case, there's no denying that they absolutely miss Luka. And
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
You lucky I'm not single. I would take your girl. That's what would happen. Don't make me come to your live and start throwing super chats at her.
I wanna get back every day.
You lucky I'm not single. I would take your girl. That's what would happen. Don't make me come to your live and start throwing super chats at her.
Ticket TV, he calls LeBron James fans jockstrap sniffers. So this is for you guys. If you're watching, shout out to all the LeBron James jockstrap sniffers. This is for you.
Top Fly said it's a joke. Wow, chat. They're crashing. I told y'all it's getting nasty out here, man. It's getting nasty, chat. They're crashing. They're crashing out, man. It's getting nasty out here, dude. They're hating. I told y'all, bro. They're hating this, bro. Y'all thought I was making this up. They're hating.
I'm a rolling stone.
Chat, y'all thought I was making this up. Pay attention. Look at their faces. Look at the looks on their faces. Look at Mr. Booty. Look at Jovan's face. They're pissed.
I'm a rolling stone.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Just 3 days ago, Jovan Booty was saying he didn't know how the Lakers were going to score. He was like, where's their offense going to come from? What did I tell y'all, chat? 2 + 2 is 4, but so is 1 + 3. So is 0 + 4. So is 3 + 1. They think there's only one way to skin a cat. They think the only way we can win is with Luka and Reeves jacking up 30 shots a night. And this is the people y'all be listening to for your basketball takes? This is where y'all get your knowledge of the game from. From the nerds. This is where you guys get your Laker takes from. The nerds. This is incredible, man. I gotta run that clip back, chat. I'm sorry. I gotta run that back, man. That's hilarious, dude. This dude's like, he had to He saw people in the chat. He was like, "Yo, let me speak on this real quick." No, dude, you can't change nobody. The cat is out the bag, folks. The cat is out the bag. People are waking up. Why do you think Luka wasn't a finalist for MVP? We talked about this on the show we did last night. We don't care about these fake stats, dude. Quit playing games at this point, man. We are not dumb, Trevor Lane. The fans are not stupid, dude. We know he has the highest usage in the NBA. That's why he gets these numbers. He shoots more field goal attempts, more three-point attempts, more free throw attempts than anybody in the fucking sport. That's why he's getting these numbers. It's not because he's this great player. It's not because he's so efficient. He literally is ball hogging from his own teammates. And I don't think it's any coincidence the second his ass ain't playing. Chat, do you guys understand we're on a 4-game win streak? Why ain't the mayonnaise media talking about it? We're on a 4-game win streak, folks. Did you guys know that? We're 4-0 in the last 4 games. We're on a 4-game win streak. You wouldn't know because the mayonnaise media ain't talking about it. Incredible, dude. Incredible, man. Shout out to X and O with the $2 super.
I'm a rolling stone.
Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
He said somebody got to sneako this nigga. We got St. Matthew. Shout out to St. Matthew with the $10 super chat.
I'm too hot for you to own.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 sign.
This
is what you gotta realize, Judah. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind. And you got outwitted by the locker room.
And you got outwitted by the locker room. We got Matthew. He said, this is a new low even for the mayonnaise media. To even try to discredit ball movement is nasty work. It's like hearing someone say, don't play defense. We'll just hope they miss their shots. Folks, let me run this back for you guys again, man. These dudes are going out sad, dude. This is nasty. One more time, folks.
I'm seeing a little bit of the conversation in the chat right now that, well, the ball is simply moving more for the Lakers now. See, this is the way that the Lakers need to play. And Luka was not allowing the ball to move the way he needed to. Keep in mind that you may find, and indeed, if you dig into the numbers, the Lakers passed the ball more since they lost Luka compared to before. Some of that is you have less guys who are capable of breaking down their man one-on-one, and so they're naturally going to move the ball more. But I think there's two things that sometimes get confused, and that's the aesthetics of something, and that's seeing the ball move. There is a certain joy to that. I like seeing everybody get involved. I've talked about it on our shows before. I've talked about it during the live play-by-plays that I do. But there's a difference between that and efficient offense. And what Luka does, while some people may not find it as aesthetically pleasing, others may, there is no denying that it is very effective and very efficient offensively. And that ultimately is the goal, putting the ball in the basket. The Lakers are a better offensive team with Luka Doncic than without. So it's not like watching this game and saying, oh, I like seeing the ball move the way it does. You can't make that leap that, oh, see, they're better without Luka because the ball is moving more. And we know there's agendas and things out there, but sometimes people get confused by what they see versus what the numbers will actually tell you. And the ultimate goal, whether you enjoy the way that it happens or not, the ultimate goal is to put the ball in the basket as efficiently as possible. And with that being the case, there's no denying that they absolutely miss Luka, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they can get back Luka and or Austin at some point.
Chat. Did you guys hear what he just exposed himself, chat? Did you guys just hear what this man just said? This little boy? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Did you guys hear what this little boy just said? This little boy just said that it's about putting the ball in the basket. Wrong. No, it's not, buddy. It's about winning. Hello? Or did you forget? Wow. Wow. Let's run that back real quick, chat. Let's run that back real quick, chat. This is why you guys can't get your basketball takes from nerds, dude. They expose themselves. Wow.
We would have thought coming in. Now, I do want to address one thing. I'm seeing a little bit of the conversation in the chat right now that, well, the ball is simply moving more for the Lakers now. See, this is the way that the Lakers need to play. And Luka was not allowing the ball to move the way he needed to. Keep in mind that you may find, and indeed, if you dig into the numbers, the Lakers passed the ball more since they lost Luka compared to before. Some of that is you have less guys who are capable of breaking down their man one-on-one, and so they're naturally going to move the ball more. But I think there's two things that sometimes get confused, and that's the aesthetics of something, and that's seeing the ball move. There is a certain joy to that. I like seeing everybody get involved. I've talked about it on our shows before. I've talked about it during the live play-by-plays that I do. But there's a difference between that and efficient offense. And what Luka does, while some people may not find it as aesthetically pleasing, others may, there is no denying that it is very effective and very efficient offensively. And that ultimately is the goal, putting the ball in the basket. The Lakers are a better offensive team with Luka Doncic than without. So it's not like watching this game and saying, oh, I like seeing the ball move the way it does. You can't make that leap that, oh, see, they're better without Luka because the ball's moving more. And we know there's agendas and things out there, but sometimes people get confused by what they see versus what the numbers will actually tell you. And the ultimate goal, whether you enjoy the way that it happens or not, the ultimate goal is to put the ball in the basket as efficiently as possible. And with that being the case, there's no denying that they absolutely miss Luka, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they can get back Luka and or Austin at some point.
I'm a rolling stone.
Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
Chat, this man said, the goal is to put the ball in the basket. No, that's Luka's goal. We're trying to win. And we can't do that with him. So when the fans start to point it out, that our offense and our team is playing better, now you're talking about, well, of course the ball's moving. Yeah, because a lot of these guys can't break down their man. What? Wow. Shout out to Xavier, man. Folks, they are hating, bro. But I thought just a month ago, Chad, it was LeBron's fault. Exactly, yo, Fresh. Everybody tried to blame Bron. Now look. Y'all were just saying that LeBron was the problem. Folks, the fans are not stupid, man. The audience is not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey, Drake, they're not slow. Trevor, you can shape the stories however you want, dude. We're not dumb, bro. This is why why do you guys think they don't want y'all calling in to their show, chat? Because like I told y'all, they want to be able to push their agendas and their narratives without any pushback. This is why they don't let y'all on the show. Why y'all think they don't take callers? What don't you guys find it a little bit strange that there's three of these guys up here doing a show and all they do is agree with each other? You guys don't find that a little bit strange? These are all beta simps, dude. They're all beta simps. How are you doing a show, three men, and they never push back on anything? They're always up here pandering to each other. They're all beta simps, folks. They're all beta cucks. And the craziest part was when Trevor was saying that bullshit, you could tell Jason Simp He wanted to say something, but the beta inside of him wouldn't allow him to stand up and say something. They don't want to even have any pushback amongst each other. They just want an echo chamber of the same opinions. Wow. You dudes are, like I said, bro, that's crazy to me, bro. 3 beta cucks, man. 3 beta cucks doing a Laker podcast. That's incredible.
I'm a rolling stone.
3 beta cucks started a Laker pod trash where they just agree with each other every show. Jason, let me ask you a question, because you seem to be the most masculine, right, on the show. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Simp. When are you going to stand up to Trevor Lame and Mr. Booty? Because you're the only one that I have faith in to, like, you know, push back on some of this nonsense. I don't think Mr. Booty or Trevor Lame is gonna do it. When are you gonna let your nuts hang, dude? And, you know, actually, like, you know, have a disagreement with these guys. I mean, Chad, it's like, you know what's funny about these dudes? It's like they don't want to disagree with each other because they might they don't want to be friends after that or something. I mean, can y'all not disagree? Seriously, I mean, are y'all afraid to disagree with each other? Is that going to cause a fallout if one of you guys pushes back or has a disagreement with one another? Or do y'all all believe the same shit? Y'all all believe the same thing. Is that what's going on here? Yo, folks, this is some nasty shit, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit disgusted. This is a little bit disturbing. We got Xavier. Yo, Xavier, what's going on, man? Long time no see, man.
What's going on, family?
What's going on, man? What are your thoughts, man? You know, today's show we're discussing obviously LeBron James and the Houston Rockets game 1. You know, nobody believed going into game 1 that the Lakers stood a chance. Now, we didn't speak, Xavier, so I don't know where you stood on this series, but you know, Kevin Durant was a late scratch in game 1. And then obviously the Lakers end up winning the game. No Luka, no Reeves. I know you're a Luka guy. What are your thoughts, man? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Man, we might not have spoke, but we always speaking. We are the same mind. Now, true, you're right. We don't agree on Luka, but we'll get to that in a minute. To me, the problem has always been Austin Reeves. And I always felt that Reeves should have been on the bench. Ayton is not. Ayton is a 20-point scorer in the league, dog. So what they didn't know is Ayton is, to me, Reeves' replacement is playing right now. To me, Kennard is a spot-up shooter. He knows what to do off pin downs, off curls. He can move without the ball. He plays without the ball. You got a ball-centric player in Luka. You got a ball-centric player in Bron. I always felt that Ayton shouldn't have been the fourth option. So if you remove a couple of these people that can't defend on the perimeter, you put in perimeter defenders, you add another shooter, and then you feature Ayton. Ayton was right when he said, I'm not Clint Capella. He was right. But, you know, we much rather be out there doing pick and rolls all day and, you know, featuring 2 dudes that can't defend and aren't athletic enough. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you ever covered this. You know why Jake LaRavia get a lot of burn? You know that him and Austin Reeves got the same manager, got the same representative.
Yeah, Bill Duffy.
That's why he get burned. It's ridiculous.
I mean, no. Bill Duffy, my bad. Bill Duffy is Luka's agent. I think they're represented by like, yeah, AMR. I think is something. AMR agency, Austin Riley or something like that. Yeah. No, wait. No, I think Luka. No, I think Luka and Jake LaRavia, if I'm not mistaken, have the same name.
No. It's Luka and the big fella. That's why he get burned. Luka and Ayton.
Oh, okay. You might be right.
And it's Jake LaRavia and Reeves. That's the secret sauce. That's why Laravia be getting all that tick. Because when you look at it, it's obvious to me that you need to start smart, right?
Right.
I don't understand why they playing Laravia. And we've talked about this before. I always felt that Reeves should have been in that Dallas trade. Now Reeves is better than Max Christie, but Christie fits next to Luka and Brian better due to his defensive prowess. And I was watching another show, and Dinwiddie was on there with them Baja Cats. If you ever get a chance to watch that, because Dinwiddie was on the squad last year, he was breaking all that down, man. Dinwiddie was like, "Nah, Austin not better than Paul George. He's not better than this person. He just gets the look. He gets a green light, and he's able to do this. He's scoring a lot of points, but he's not this. He's not that." I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Man, have Reggie seen this?" I was dying. But due to the way they built right now, LeBron thrives with defenders, with a big that can flash and can score, and with shooters. That's been the secret with LeBron his whole career. What do you put next to him? Shooters. It's simple. So I don't see why they can't be successful. And he wasn't even aggressive last game. He was chilling. So we'll see tonight. And I hope if Luka do come back, I think they still gonna be straight. Because what if he take a second to ramp up and he not sitting there shooting the ball 30 times and he let LeBron drive the car for a minute?
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, I think so is there something to be said for the style of play though? Like how are you feeling about it? Has it been more enjoyable for you with Luka being out? I mean, they are on a 4-game win streak right now. How do you feel like?
Of course.
Because I heard you mention DA. I was saying it before the series. I think DA can place and go into a draw. He actually outplayed him in game 1. So I just think it's funny, Xavier, how people, especially like the mayonnaise media, I think it's funny how before the series was starting, they were saying how they don't know where the offense is going to come from, and Luke and Reeves not being there, you're missing a bunch of points. I just think it's funny how these people talk basketball. I mean, obviously, if Luka and Reeves aren't there, other guys are going to get more opportunity. And I think one of those guys, obviously, Rui, DA, Luke Kennard. You see what Luke Kennard did? 27. 27 was more than any Austin Reeves playoff game in his entire career. His playoff career high was 23. Luke gave you 27 his first game.
Well, it's stuff it's things that we've brought up on the show already, right? Everything isn't about who's better. Sometimes it's about fit. Now, yeah, in a vacuum, Austin Reeves is better than Luke Kennard. But as far as you having a ball-centric player, right? Having a person that can play off the ball and shoot, that's what you need. That's what you need. And Kennard can do that. And he can make reads. He can make reads too. One of these games, he had a ton of assists too. I was sitting there like, wow, he's better than what I thought he was, man.
I think his first game without Luke and Reeves, he had a triple-double.
Yeah.
Against Dallas, I think.
He's decent, man. And then as far as Ayton is concerned, like, I think that LeBron isn't Chris Paul, right? But I watched Ayton when Chris Paul watched Ayton make it to the NBA Finals. I watched him eat. He's a 20-10 guy. That can't be denied in this league. He's going to get paid again. I watched Cuss say that on Twitter last night. He was like, watch, because of this series, he's going to get paid again. It's a lot of teams that could use that. However, over here in LA, we worshiping a couple of these players that want to run ball screens all day, and we diss a big who can put up 20. I'm clueless.
But that's what I think. That's what I think the fans are starting to pick up on too, Xavier, because like I said, I saw Trevor. I just played the video. You probably heard it, of Trevor Lane clapping back at people in his chat who are basically saying like, "Yo, LeBron is actually doing a better job of orchestrating our offense than Luka. There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that. You know?
Yeah.
I
He's
don't
a
think
better player. He's the greatest player of all time.
exactly. So I think when Luka comes back, what do you want to see when Luka comes back?
I can't answer that right now because we don't know what Luka's health really is. You know what I mean? The only reason why LeBron was taking off the ball is because it's 82 games in a season, and Luka isn't good off ball. But if Luka can show that he can play off ball, then LeBron is obviously, what is he, top 3 in assists of all time? So obviously he can control the offense. But, it's just the wear and tear of the regular season. That's why I think LeBron was the third option. I don't think it's because Austin Reeves was better than him or, Luka's better than him today, but LeBron makes the offense go smoother. It's simple. There's no shame in saying that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you lost me on that last bit, but yeah.
What did I lose you on that Luka's better than him as a player today?
That's when you lost me.
All right, hey look, I'm gonna put it like this for you, man. Respectfully, I don't see many cats averaging like 34, 8, and 9. That's what I don't get. I'm not a Luka guy. I'm a LeBron guy, right? But in the history of the game, I'm 40. I'm in my 40s. Show me a guy that's putting up 34, 8, and 9. That's what I don't understand about some of our fans. You can't smush that. You can't smoosh that away. And these writers just showed me they don't know what the hell they talking about.
I was just about to ask you because he didn't finish top 3 in MVP voting. You have an issue with that?
Yes, I do. These dudes is goofballs. So you mean to tell me when was it about both sides of the ball when Steve Nash was winning MVP? When Steph Curry was winning MVP? When was it about both sides of the ball? When Jokic was winning MVP? When Larry Bird won 3 of them? When was it about MVP?
Well,
I mean, what was it about defense and both sides of the ball and all that stuff?
I'm gonna tell you what hurt him, in my opinion, Xavier. I think all of the bitching and complaining all season, people didn't like that. People didn't like that. I think that suspension hurt him. Obviously, picking up all those texts hurt him. I think, too, there was a big portion of the season where Lakers had a losing record. Now, they did turn it around in March, but if we're talking about an MVP award, you got to be consistent for the whole season. And then we're not even talking about his record versus SGA. SGA swept the Lakers 4-0. So to me, I don't think – so you think he should have won the MVP?
I'm saying there's no way he shouldn't have been in the finals. My thought process is this. And SGA didn't sweep the Lakers. The Oklahoma City Thunder swept the Lakers. They're a better team, and they built around SGA efficiently. What just happened where we lose our top 2 scorers and we still got 20-point scorers that's still doing their thing, right? But we don't have any 3-and-D guys, is to show you how bad of a team, how bad of team building that Pelinka has done, right? Even if you don't like Luka and you think Luka's lazy or whatever, he's still an offensive engine, and you surround offensive engines with long defensive players. So let's take Luka's name out of it. When you look over in New York, what's surrounding Jalen Brunson? What's surrounding SGA? What did when they were in Atlanta and they were building Atlanta for Trey, what did they put around him? They put long defensive players around him because they knew that he was a defensive liability. You do the same thing for Luka, and guess what? Boom, NBA Finals. Dallas did it.
Well, I was just about to go there. It's like the team that did that for him didn't want him after that finals run.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be an indictment on Luka. We can't just. I mean, we didn't see the Thunder give up on SGA when Luka beat him a couple years ago.
No, the Clippers gave up on SGA for Paul George.
Yeah, I
mean, sometimes people make mistakes, man. Orlando gave up on Shaq. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. To me, I think there's something to be said for the team that he was on just not willing to move forward with him.
Right.
You know?
And that happens with players sometimes with ineffective management. That's not new to Luka.
I don't know if I can blame the management and not Luka.
What do you mean? Because he played because he played up against Boston, a mature Boston.
Well, losing is one thing. I think it's how you lose. That's. I think it's how you lose to me. Yeah. And then, like I said, you come back the next year. Nico said he was watching him. He came back the following year because Nico's a Kobe guy, so he's watching his lifestyle. It's not just about basketball; it's about the way you're moving. And Nico felt like he wasn't the kind of guy that he could have won with. I don't think that that's a mistake on management. I think that that's honestly Nico doing his job as a GM.
Okay. It was definitely a mistake by management. And then you go get a player who hasn't shown a history of being healthy and trade for him. Now, I respectfully, man, like if you're making all NBA, he's a Hall of Famer today. He's only like 25, 26 years old. He's a Hall of Famer, Reg. So you can't say the management didn't make a mistake. They made a mistake, and it's okay. They end up rebounding with a young player. It's cool. And we're straight. The Lakers are going to be straight. Even if LeBron leaves, the Lakers will be all right. I'm going where LeBron goes, but the Lakers will be fine. You got to properly build around him, Reg. Even if you can't stand him, even if he's the guy, we got to build around him. Just like if it was young LeBron, we would build around the young LeBron. It's simple. And we haven't done that.
But to me, though, that's not a good argument because it's not like his team is the 8th seed or they're missing the playoffs. Like, you're a top 4 seed 2 years in a row, back-to-back 50-win seasons. So to say that they're not building around him, that's just kind of disingenuous. He was the 4th seed. He was the 4th seed in Dallas when he got to the finals. He was the 3rd seed last year.
Okay. To me, that's not an argument. That's just a statement. Now, are you saying that the Lakers have optimized this roster for Luka Doncic?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What was the one thing coming out of last year's playoffs that y'all said we needed? A center, right? They went and got the center. They got you a former defensive player of the year in Marcus Smart. You got your perimeter defense. You still got Vando. You got a somewhat good coach. You have a better player than Kyrie and LeBron. How is this not set up for him to be successful?
Because you have redundancy on the perimeter. You could have moved that player off the perimeter. Either A needs to go to the bench, but
I agree with that.
Not keeping Dorian Finney-Smith.
You talking about Austin? You talking about Austin?
Yeah, he needs to be on the bench, or he should have been moved.
I agree with that.
Now
I agree. Listen, I agree with that.
Now we're talking about extending him out to $200 million and having that in the backcourt.
That's gonna that's gonna be the final blow in the final nail in the coffin if they do that. Luka will never win a championship if they give him that amount of money, because you'll never be able to get off that contract.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this, and I'm just giving you hypotheticals, right? Because to me, Rui doesn't always fit either, because you already got a 4 that's dynamic that doesn't always rebound well. So you can't put a 3 next to him that doesn't rebound either, right? So to me, those 2 positions are kind of wonky and clunky. I do like the Marcus Smart situation, but like, okay, in Atlanta, they brought on Kuminga. But Kuminga's been on the pine for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You trying to tell me if we had Naw up here instead of Austin Reeves starting next to Luka and Bron, that we wouldn't be killing?
No, I agree with you there. But that's just one player. You know what I mean? I think if we're talking
Put
about the rest of the team,
put any dynamic 3-and-D player that you could slot with Austin's money in there.
yeah,
Jaden
I agree.
McDaniels, you can put any 3-and-D guy in there, and we're
Yeah.
shining.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. We agree on the Austin Reeves bit for sure. But I think
But
outside of I think that's the only thing I can give you is the fit with Austin Reeves. I agree with you. You can't win like that. Everybody knows that. But outside of that, and then hold on, Xavier, to play devil's advocate, you know what the Austin Reeves fans are going to say? They're going to say, "Oh, but this is the highest scoring duo in the NBA."
Yes, and you know what I would say? I would say, awesome, but that doesn't make your team better.
I agree.
Doesn't make your team better. It's not about it's about fit. And just because two players can get buckets don't mean they fit next to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's about fit, right? Oh, okay. Some of you guys are old enough. Remember when the Lakers got rid of Eddie Jones and people were like, "What are you doing?" Remember Kobe at first was on the bench and then they would play him, but the fit was kind of messed up with him and Eddie Jones. Do you remember that?
No,
Eddie Jones could.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was before. That was right before I started watching the NBA.
Eddie Jones could go. Eddie Jones could ball, but he was kind of in Kobe's position. And Kobe was coming off the bench for the Lakers, but in the All-Star game, starting in the All-Star game because he was so popular. Straight up. They got rid of Eddie Jones, man, because he was holding up Kobe's spot. And you put Glenn Rice in that spot, a shooter, and next thing you know, the fit is perfect. Sometimes it's not that Glenn Rice was better than Eddie Jones. It's not that. It was just the fit. Basketball is about fit. It's about teamwork and fit. And two players that are redundant, taking turns, a la James Harden and Chris Paul, you can win some games, but you're not going to win it all because of the redundancy. You need two things that fit, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. They cover for each other. It's simple, man.
Yeah,
and some of these dudes don't know basketball.
Yeah, give me 1 second, Xavier. Shout out to PA with the $5 super chat.
Rolling Stone. Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
You said Luka ain't moving off ball. We can't get that boy to move off the In-N-Out burgers and the Wingstop. We got Will. Shout out to Will. You said, how much help does Luka need? He has LeGoat. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the only thing that I can give Xavier is the fit with Austin Reeves, but I think outside of that, I mean, this team is constructed around him. You got a rim running lob threat in Jackson Hayes. He's coming off your bench. He's basically the equivalent to Derek Lively.
Hey, I agree. LeBron plays well off the ball, though. That's not what Reggie asked me. He said, "What happens?" So I'm fine with LeBron being off the ball, with him being the second option and Luka shooting the ball 25 times. I'm cool with that. LeBron showed me he can function in that role. My problem is when somebody comes in and shoots 16 to 20 shots and they're not as good as LeBron. That's where the problem comes in. When he gets his little usage on. It's nothing personal. But he needs to either be on the bench, and Dinwiddie said it in that interview. He was like, he needs to come off the bench or he got to get moved. Like, it is what it is. You can't win with both of them in the backcourt together.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. So yeah, game 2, Xavier. I don't know if KD's gonna play though, but who you got, man?
I think KD playing. They showed him shooting around with the tape on the tendonitis tape on his knee. I think he gonna go. I got the late show, man. I got the late show, because my man, the only difference between Aiden and the Turkish kid is that only difference between Aiden and him is that old boy get the usage. He gets spotlighted. I don't think that he's really that much better than Aiden, man.
No,
I don't understand what people see in single, man.
Yeah, me either.
So I think they do have a lot of athleticism, and we barely beat them shooting 60% from the field. I'm willing to admit that too, but we cut down on the turnovers, get a couple free throws, I think we'll take game 2, man.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I think the Lakers. I heard LeBron after the game. The reporter asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna give too much of the game plan up, you know." So, yeah, I think in a fill out game, if you still get the victory in the fill out game for LeBron, I think that's a good sign. You know, I think that's a good sign moving forward. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens, Xavier. You got any final thoughts? Still good call, man. Appreciate you.
Man, always appreciate you, man. We rock. And go Lake Show, man. I think we good to go.
Exactly.
We good to go. We get to enjoy these couple last, games of LeBron, man. And it's kind of cool. And it's kind of cool to see him feature as he going out. I hope this ain't it for him.
Oh, I'm about to say I don't think he's anywhere close, Xavier, to hanging it up, to be honest with you.
He kind of alluded to it, man.
What you mean?
He said that he don't want a farewell tour. So this could be it at the end of the season. He said he don't want a farewell tour. We don't know when he's gonna stop.
Yeah, I just think I seen a clip of him on his podcast, and he said he doesn't mind playing, the third option, but he said for now. So I don't know if you saw that clip, but yeah, I just think he's just playing too good, Xavier, to quit.
Where would you go if you were him?
I think honestly, I wouldn't mind him staying, but I think the problem with the Lakers is just their plan. But I think with the new ownership and the new regime, I think they might see things differently than maybe Rob and Jeannie under their regime did. I could see the new regime being thoroughly impressed with LeBron right now, and maybe them not being so high on paying Austin Reeves and going with that, because that was the plan. It seemed like when the season started, that seemed like the plan. Like, okay, we're gonna build around Luka and Reeves, which is insane. But I think now with them being hurt and you're winning playoff games without those guys, and Luke Kennard is stepping up, DeAndre Ayton is stepping up. I don't know, man. Like I think if you might need to get off of Luka and Reeves. That might be the strategy. But obviously, I don't know if they'll do that. But that's what I'm seeing. Because I think, like I said, because you just said it yourself. You just said that somebody gonna pay DA.
Somebody's gonna pay him. And
Xavier, you know what's crazy? Not to cut you off, but you know what's crazy? I read an article maybe about a week ago, and Detroit, because they drafted Luke Kennard. They talking about they would be interested in bringing him back. So these performances that DA and Luke Kennard putting on, they're gonna have a market this summer. Well, not DA. I think DA got one more year, but Luke Kennard gonna have a market this summer. So we got guys on this team. Marcus Smart too. He's gonna have a market too. The way he's been playing. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm starting to like this roster a lot more now that Luka and Reeves aren't playing, because we're seeing more of what the other guys can do. So I wouldn't be mad at this point if he stayed. Before the season started, I was like, he needs to go, but I keep forgetting that they sold the team. So it's under new ownership now. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind him staying at this point.
Now, the funny thing is this. I think they acquired AR's replacement. I think the Kennard fits better next to Luka and Bron because of his spot up capabilities.
Exactly.
Now, they took too long. They should have moved off of AR. But now what do? Because you don't want to max them, and they AR acting like they want max money over there. So I would keep Kennard, probably let my man walk. You know what I'm saying? And, balance it that way.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would let him walk because...
Let him walk.
Yeah, I would let him walk because, him walking to a bottom feeder Eastern Conference team, that's not going to come back to haunt you or anything. We let Caruso walk. So, we won a title with him. With Reeves, you haven't done anything. So I don't understand why people act like, oh, we just can't let him walk. We just can't lose him. Like, I would just let him walk. And like I said,
I'm curious.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Where is he gonna go? I'm curious as to that.
They
where
said
you gonna go where they gonna give you that type of usage and just let you cook?
They said there could potentially be 2 teams with the cap space, and they said
Brooklyn?
it could be Chicago or Brooklyn. Now, in my opinion, if I'm a Bulls fan, and this summer y'all announced that our big free agent acquisition is Austin Reeves, I don't see how that moves the needle. So to me, it's kind of like the same thing. If you remember back in 23, they said the Spurs were going to, like, this is when he was a restricted free agent. They said the Spurs were going to offer him a deal. We got to free agency. Nobody offered him a deal. Because when you're a restricted free agent, anybody can sign you to an offer sheet, and the Lakers would have the ability to match it. Nobody signed him to an offer sheet. So they a lot of the time they just be throwing stuff at the wall about Austin, hoping that it sticks to kind of, I guess, boost up his value. But it's only Laker media that does that. If you listen to other media, nobody's talking about him as like this piece that they might be targeting this summer. I haven't read anything about it, but for Luke Kennard, I actually have. I seen an article about a week ago. Detroit said that they would be interested in bringing him back because they're having problems with shooting over there. You were in Detroit though, because they got they got Kevin Huerter and then they got Duncan Robinson. But I read an article and they said they still having trouble with shooting. So I don't know. I haven't really been watching their games, but
remember, old boy got indicted
Beasley
for the gambling. Beasley got in trouble for the gambling situation. He was the shooter out here. He was cooking.
Yeah, he had a good year last year.
Yeah, so I think that's what kind of threw a monkey wrench in their situation. They was doing all right, but you saw what happened last game.
I did. I got to go back and watch the highlights, but I did see y'all, lost to Paolo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know.
So you being in Detroit, so let me ask you, you being in Detroit, would you be open to Luke coming back over there?
I like him in LA, man.
Yeah.
I am in the D, but I'm a Laker fan, man. I go where LeBron go. I like him in LA, man.
LeBron fans.
I'm a LeBron fan, man. I met LeBron in Detroit, man. LeBron a good guy, man.
Yeah.
LeBron a good guy, man. Oh, hold on. While we talking about home, I just want to say go blue, because I am a Michigan alum too. I got to throw that out there.
Right. Nah, I like Luke, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. No foul baiting, none of that extra nonsense. No crying to the referees, just straight up basketball. So, but see, the thing though is they're talking about, but that's gonna eat into the cap money, and that's what the Laker fans are talking about. But my thing is this, Xavier. I've seen the free agent list. The best available free agent is gonna be LeBron. So I don't know who they're planning to use this cap money for, who they're trying to go get, but that money should be used to retain your own players, because I don't really see much out there. Who you going to go get, Norman Powell?
Man, all the fringe dudes was getting moved during the year, man. I'd have been straight even getting Kuminga. Like, the fringe dudes was getting moved, and I'm sitting there like, we couldn't have used him. We couldn't have used him. When I saw OKC grab the young guard from Philadelphia, man, I was like, really? They got something. You let them get another lottery pick? Really? Like, other teams are making moves. It's just the Lakers sitting there standing pat. I was, like you said, I was hyped with Kennard, and I like the fact that they got smart, and picking up a 20 and 10 center for free is always fire. But we're not addressing our needs. We getting certain players, but we not addressing our needs, and then we're not training up players on the fringes to give us that athleticism and that 3-and-D push that we need. Okay, we got an offensive engine. We need defense on the perimeter. Outside of Smart and Bronny, who we got this defending on the we running out here with Jake Moravia, he averaging 2 steals a game. We acting like he a defensive stalwart or something. So
we still got Vando too. You can't forget Vando.
Yeah, but the problem with JJ Redick is once you get in his doghouse, he to me he's got that on him bad. What do you
worse than
have
Darvin?
against
Worse than Darvin?
Worse than Darvin, because Darvin was at least willing to experiment. You've even brought that up, right? You look up and he's starting, Vando and my
Cam
man from
Reddish.
Duke.
Cam Reddish.
He's trying different things just to see what sticks. Once you get in old boy's doghouse, you're just on the bench. The Dalton Connect thing blows
that's insane.
mind.
That is insane. Did you see the other night? Did you see the other night when he finally let him in versus the Jazz and he had like 17, I think, off the bench?
Yeah, in like 10 minutes.
And his shot is pretty.
He's got the flamethrower on him, man, because he's a spot up shooter. Let that boy cook. There's no reason to be playing Jake LaRavia over him. Explain.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, especially when you drafted the guy and you're supposed to be developing him and bringing him along, and then you just sign this dude off of free agency. Yeah, that don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Luke Kennard come from a different team and all of a sudden is playing 15, 20 minutes a game. Meanwhile, old boy is just on the bench. And he's a certified flamethrower. It's literally ridiculous. And I like Duke. I like JJ. I just don't understand some of the moves that he makes. The same guy, y'all sitting here talking about Jackson Hayes. I'm not talking about you specifically, Reg. I'm saying the media is now acting like Jackson Hayes should play more than DA, right? Is that not the center that got benched last year during the playoffs? And he was like, fuck it, we just gonna run small. Is that true? I could have swore I saw it.
Yeah. Which didn't make sense. And it didn't make sense in the moment because Rudy Gobert was out there looking like Wilt Chamberlain. He was out there looking like Rudy Gobert. And it's just like, why? Not only that, not only not playing Jackson, you didn't play anybody, which was insane to me.
He refused to play a 5, man. He was like, man, we just don't run small. In that moment, I realized that he was not that good of a coach.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't think Darvin would have done that. Yeah, Darvin would have done that. Yeah.
Hiring LeBron's podcast buddy was a mistake, man. He was not a great coach, man. I don't know what Mark Jackson done done. I don't know who he done made mad, but listen, I am not a JJ fan.
Well, they tried to get Dan Hurley.
Yeah, I saw that, but Dan Hurley was playing games.
Yeah, Dan Hurley went back to UConn. So I guess they just had to settle for JJ, but yeah.
Not a JJ fan, man. I'm sorry. And I've had enough of the Tres Leches. I'm tired of all the Vanilla Brothers. Like, listen, let's play who's best on the team, man. Let's quit playing around, please.
I mean, you see how much better we look when two of them don't play. When two, I'm telling you, look how much better we looked. The game, it just has a different feel when they're not out there, and it's just us.
Hey, man, that's 62 points that we're missing, okay?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, though. Like I said, I remember when we signed, when we was making our signings this summer, I said the only reason I would like the Marcus Smart pickup is if he's in the starting lineup, which they eventually did. So I'm liking the Smart addition because he's been giving us good minutes, even though he was missing a lot of free throws and shots last game. But the DA pickup, I wasn't a fan of it when we initially got him. But like I said, watching him now without Luka and Reeves, completely different player.
I like Ayton. I always have. I don't understand why the media hates him so much. I don't understand why the fans hate him so much. Okay? There's different archetypes of centers. It's been like that forever. You got certain centers that are defensive bigs. You got certain centers that score in the post. You got certain centers that pick and pop. Okay? Like, it's all right, man. He's not a typical pick and roll, lob threat center. He's not that. But he's a 20-point scorer in the league. He's got soft hands. He's got a good touch. He can score in the post. He should not be the fourth option so Austin Reeves can dance on the perimeter. Bottom line.
And then he was second. He was second in the league, and I think field goal percentage. So good touch around the rim too.
Yeah. Now he does have wonky hands when you try to kick him the ball sometimes, but that's because he's not used to getting the ball, dog. Some of y'all have never hooped before. If you used to playing with people that's always shooting the ball and you sitting there and then they throw you a pass out of nowhere, man, sometimes you're going to fumble it, dog. That's the game. But if you used to getting 15, 20 shots, then you know you about to get the ball a couple times. You're a little more, your utilization is a little better. He can play.
Give me 1 second, Xavier. Shout out to Marine Gamer TV with the $5 super chat.
Rolling Stone.
Austin Reeves. Foul baiter.
Yo, my bad. I didn't even see y'all chats. We got Marine Gamer. You say Kobe got a farewell tour out of pity. Laughing my ass off. LeBron going out competing. Shout out to Jesus with the $5 super chat.
LeBron fan.
Gonna have me on a late night mission. Pulling up.
Shout out to Jesus. You say, Reg, are you seeing the news? Luka questionable for game 2. Dave McMenamin just tweeted it. I told you, LeBron fans. There's no way. There's literally no way. Hold on. Xavier, you heard this?
He'll be back game 3, dog.
Wow. I'm not seeing... That's insane, man. That is insane, bro. Let me check this injury report. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not seeing what you're saying, Jesus. I'm not seeing.
Hey,
yeah, there's no tweet.
What's the game on tonight? Is it on ABC? I hope not.
Nah, it's not till tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very fishy, Xavier. They gave us 2 days off. They gave us 2 days off. Yeah, I'm not seeing what you're talking about, Jesus. Unfortunately, we got a fake news report from Jesus. Come on, Jesus.
Well, it wouldn't be out if it's still 24 hours away.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out yet. Availability wouldn't be out yet.
Yeah, he's still on the injury report is out. Estimated return is May the 1st. But yeah, man. Yeah. No, I'm with you though, Xavier. Yeah. I think we agree pretty much on most things. So yeah, we'll just see what happens tomorrow. But yeah. Good call though, Xavier. You got any final thoughts, Xavier?
Thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
Exactly.
You know what? I already said it, man. We get to watch LeBron wind down, dog.
Exactly. All right, Xavier, good call, man. Appreciate you, man.
100.
All right, bro. Peace. Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Xavier, man. Yeah, shout out to my guy Xavier. Long-time listener of the show, man. Xavier been here for some years, man. But yeah, Jesus, you got to stop with the trolling, dude. Seriously. Are you a Luka fanboy?
I'm a crash out man, and I'm about to crash out with your permission. May I crash out?
Go ahead, man.
You just kept needling, guy. You just kept needling and pushing and pushing and pushing. You didn't want AR. You didn't want D-Slow. Look at what happened. You put Rob in a corner, and he started fighting back. He started crashing out, and look where we're at now. Tomfoolery everywhere. Look to your left. Look to your right. Look at Luka. You caused them to crash out. Reggie, you're pushing everyone to the edge, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wow, man. The Luka fans are crashing out, folks. They're crashing out, man. LeBron James has his team chat on a 4-game win streak, and these folks are crashing out. And you know what's funny? Folks? I was gonna actually touch on this show, but I'm actually going to pick things back up a little bit later, folks, because all things basketball, you said, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I was actually gonna touch more on LeBron on this show, but obviously, we got to talking about, the mayonnaise media and Luka and everything like that. So I'm going to just pick things back up a little bit later, folks, because I saw some comments from Derek Fisher as it pertains to LeBron James. Xavier, he just called in. You guys just heard Xavier. He thinks LeBron's winding it down. Folks, Derek Fisher, he had some comments on LeBron James that were extremely fascinating. And, I want to pick things back up a little bit later, folks, and have a conversation about that. Like I said, we didn't really touch too much on LeBron on this show, but on the next show, I got to get to LeBron James, folks. Like I said, 4-0 in the last 4 games, folks. The mayonnaise media ain't talking about it. Jovan Booty, this dude is up here talking about how are the Lakers going to score, right? And here we are, 4-0 in our last 4 games, and you still asking these stupid-ass questions, talking about how are we going to score. How do you think we're going to score? The fuck? We're going to put the ball in the basket. We're going to give the ball to DA. He's going to score. We're going to pass the ball to Luke. Luke's going to score. We're going to pass the ball to Rui. He's going to score. LeBron's going to score. Right? Like, what are you talking about? How are the Lakers going to score? Where's their offense going to come from? Oh, well, I think the Lakers' offensive rating is like 116.97, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to generate enough offense. This isn't the regular season, you clown. This ain't the regular season. How many points was Houston averaging, ladies and gentlemen, in the regular season? How many points were they averaging? And how many points did they score yesterday? Or 2 days ago? 98, right? This isn't the regular season, dude. Houston was putting up how many points in the regular season? They didn't even crack 100 yesterday. 2 days ago, last game. They didn't even crack 100. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop trolling. How are the Lakers going to score without Luka and Reeves? No, we're better without those guys because now we can play defense. Now we can get stops. Now other guys are going to get opportunities. But this is what they hate. They don't want to see other guys shining, man. They don't want to see other guys get contracts because they want to give all our money to that undrafted fraud, Aston Reeves. I'm out, folks.
I'm a rolling stone.
I'm here. You lucky I'm not single. I would take your girl.
So
that's what would happen. Don't make me come to your live and start throwing super chats at her. You lucky I'm not single. I would take your girl. That's what would happen. Don't make me come to your live and start throwing super chats at her.